Thank you for clicking Dr. Samurai channel. In this video, I would like to discuss negotiation techniques by skilled detective which induce even vicious criminals to break their mouth. My name is Dr. Samurai. I am a professor specialized in international social pathology and also active prison counselor of 20 years experience. As usual, I'd like to provide you some basic information first and then like to move on to our main discussions. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. So I am basing this discussion on an article titled Skilled Detectives Negotiation Techniques which induce even hardcore vicious criminals to break their mouth, written by Mr. Shinsuke Ogino for President Online. He interviewed with this highly experienced detective of 1st Investigation Division at Tokyo Metropolitan Police, which specializes in investigation into murders and armed robberies. And this detective goes like this. First, it is very important to introduce yourself officially. Clearly speaking your professional affiliation. And then starting out with the words caring about the suspect, such as, is everything all right? Could you sleep well last night? The initial key point is to make your distance with the suspect as close as possible, so you never speak in a top-down tone or looking down on the suspect. Once they sense you are looking down on him, he stops talking. So you wear suit and tie and call the person with Mr. with the respectful tone. In case the suspect is way younger than you sometimes call his first name just to make him feel close to you. And he goes, the most troublesome type is the one who wouldn't speak. The thing is, vicious criminals know once they speak, there's a high possibility that they get their sentence. And also, their right to remain silent is protected by the Constitution. You obviously break through that fence. So with those who wouldn't speak, you start looking into the reason he wouldn't speak. It could be he has experiences of being betrayed by police, so he never trusts police. Or he has been afraid of the retaliation by the organization he belongs to. Or he has an accomplice or accomplices. Or by any means he want to get away with the crimes he committed. You have to be very careful about the line of his eye, how dried his lips are, the color of his face and expressions, and the subtle movements of his skin and hand and feet. When you look into this reason the suspect wouldn't speak, the most important thing is your line of sight. He usually stared at one eye of the subject with his both eyes, so that the suspect would feel even if he lies, the detective could easily catch his lies. The suspect must feel it in the air, and you must know the suspect indeed want to confess everything so that they could feel eased. This, he says, applies to every criminals. So, the detective's business is to find out this weak point of the suspect. And based on this weak point, make him feel it would be okay to confess to this person, or it would be meaningless to remain silent to this person as naturally as possible. And to make him feel like speaking to you. The most powerful weapon is lead the suspect into his childhood. Have him think about nature and streets, parents' home, the school he used to go to, and his hometown that he grew up. He occasionally uses actual photos of the suspect's hometown. Detective induces, like, I heard when you were a little boy, you were a very good boy helping your mother all the time, based on interviews with his real mother. The purpose is to put him back in the times when he was genuine and pure. When he starts saying, that's true, detective, that's a sign of a green light. Then you go, then why did you do that? And he usually goes, actually, blah, blah, blah. The professional detectives always knows the timing that he falls. Timing comes, you move to sit right next to him. And when the very moment comes, you gently touch the shoulder of the suspect. By these techniques, the detective says, I induced so many hardcore criminals to fall into confession. It is the same as coming on to a girl to be with you. This is pretty much the basic information. If you like this kind of discussions, please click that green and the yellow Good Luck Chum logo. And here comes my conclusion. Dr. John Douglas, of ex-FBI agent who once wrote in his book that it is crucial that the suspect feel you are as crazy as he is. That you are the same level as a person, emotionally and psychologically. He usually talked to the suspect by saying, I understand there's a good you and bad you, and I know good you can never do that. I suppose bad you took control of yourself when you committed a crime, right? And induce him to start talking. By splitting the suspect's persona into a good persona and a bad persona, and focusing on his bad persona, which he implies the suspect couldn't even control. That setup makes it much easier for the suspect to speak, because he can talk like it was by somebody else. Pretty much the same thing that Ted Bundy, when he talked to detectives about what happened. Ted usually used the subject he, like suppose he was at the site of the murder, and he blah blah blah. By using he rather than I, it made it much easier for him to speak, and also Ted could avoid admitting his direct involvement. So, over the Pacific Ocean, these professional detectives and investigators both use the technique which makes the suspect feel easier to talk to, by setting up the atmosphere in which the suspect feels close to the detective and accept detective as a person. This is pretty much it. If you like this kind of discussions, please click that red Dr. Summary logos. I hope this video helped to understand our deep human nature, criminals or non-criminals. Up until next time, please have peaceful days. Wherever you are, my friend, on this same small planet Earth during this very short period of time. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.